Today, we're looking at Krishna's Permanent Blue Black. Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm an ink guy. I get inks, test them, and share the results with you. Now, Krishna's Permanent Blue Black is a blue black ink, and it's an iron gall. To make sure I have a range of experience with this ink, I do the writing samples, I put the ink into a different pen for a day, I then put it into a Noodler's Ahab with a modified flex nib to take my notes for this video. Now, before we get to the writing samples, let's look at the sciencey bits. And up first is the chromatography. And I agree with Vita that I've learned a lot by doing multiple chromatographies. The one on the left is done the way it's supposed to be done. I put a line of ink down and immediately put it into water for 10 to 15 seconds. And what we see is it does not travel far going immediately in the water. Now, the line itself doesn't look super permanent, but it's very noticeable in there. The one on the right, I let dry for 10 minutes before I dunk it into water. And you see that it largely is the line with a little bit of blue pushing its way up that page. The 24-hour one, the next chromatography that comes up, and it is next to the original one, we see that a lot of the same for the 10-minute. Most of that blue is really there, and a little bit of the blue is pushing its way up. Now, I then let it dry for 72 hours before I let it go up before I put it into water. And almost none of this ink is budging at all with 3 days in a filter paper. I think there's going to be some permanence to this permanent blue black. Resistance tests are done to see how this ink can be expected to perform on the page, and more importantly, how hard it might be to clean from your pen. Now, I let the smear dry for 3 days before testing it. Looking at the highlighter, it handled fantastically. The extra fine is still an extra fine, and you wouldn't know that it wasn't on yellow paper. Safe for a note-taking situation. Water had no effect. The ink didn't even know it was there. It moved nothing. Pen flush did move a little bit of the blue off the top. If you look kind of close there, you see just a bunch of the black left behind. But it's not going to be enough. Now, 1/3 bleach solution is completely removing it from the page, and I did have to use my 1/3 bleach solution to get this ink out of the pen. I put that 1/3 bleach solution into the pen, immediately put it back out, and immediately put flush and then a number of rounds of water through, but it cleaned completely out of the pen without a problem. For the inks I've tested, I've found an average viscosity of 2.5, with the realm of normal being from 2.1 to 2.9. Krishna's Permanent Blue Black has a viscosity of 2.28, making it normal. To find my average dry times, I use my writing samples done on Clairefontaine, Tomoe River, and Rhodia paper with the extra fine and medium nib. For the inks I've tested, I have found an average dry time of 17 seconds, with the realm of normal being from 13 to 21 seconds. Krishna's Permanent Blue Black has an average dry time of 21 seconds. That's still normal. It is the very high edge of normal, but it is normal. Now, let's look at the writing samples. I picked this ink up in bottle form, and winner, chicken dinner. This is a great ink. To keep my writing samples consistent, I use a Jinhao 159 with a Goulet 1.1 stub, a Jinhao X450 with a Goulet medium, and a Jinhao X750 with a Goulet extra fine. Let's take a look at the Clairefontaine. No bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo sheen, and we're not really getting the shading at this point. Now, we see plenty of shading while writing. The thing is, at this point, we don't really get a whole lot of the shading because it does darken up over time. We do still see some of the blue come through, like in blue. The LU is still blue, but the B and E is black. It's sort of strange. Very neat. I enjoy it. The extra fine is a noticeably darker tone. No feather spread, halo sheen. Again, no shading. And I'm saying no shading, but I'm going to talk about how I still see the blue coming through. Like in Quick, I see the parts of the Q and the U still showing the blue, but the rest looks very black. Over has the O and the V look blue and the ER look black. it definitely darkens over time and blackens over time. 11 seconds to dry. The medium is a much darker tone. No feather spread, halo sheen, no shade. 21 seconds to dry. And the scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it because it had the time to darken. And we do see some of it though. And the smear test, you still see the blue come through and you could recover it. Tomoe River. No bleeding. Of course we have ghosting. Though 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo sheen, it is still giving us plenty of the blue and the black. Like in the word permanent, I see blues and blacks in the P, in the E, in the R. I'm seeing all of them are showing blues and black. And the same thing with the words blue black. We see blue and black in there. The extra fine is the same tones that we see with the 1.1 with no feather, spread, halo sheen, no shade, but we see both the blue and the black. Where the ink has gotten in a little more, it's a bit darker and black. And where it's not in as much, we see more of the blue. Like in Fox, it starts, we see some blue, we see some black, all in the F. The X is very definitely black. 18 seconds to dry. The medium has no feather, spread, halo sheen. Again, no shading, but we're seeing both the blues and the black. The black of the aging and seep getting into the paper, the reaction with the paper, and the blue of the ink on top. Very, very nice. Like when I see it in quick, I see at the little join of the two hoops, it's very dark. It's that black, and the outsides are blue. The U is black, the I is black, part of the C is blue, and the K is black. I love this blue black ink. 37 seconds to dry. Worth it to me. The scrubby for both show us the blue and the black, and we did see the blue and the black. Again, I don't really want to call it shading because it's more of an aging in this case. The smear test you can likely recover if you smeared while you were writing. Rhodia paper. Rhodia gives us no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo sheen, and no shade. That is all black up there. All black. The extra fine has no feather, spread, halo sheen, no shade. That is all black. It's the same black as the 1.1, 14 seconds to dry. The medium is the same black as the extra fine. I just think it's how this ink is reacting on this paper. You can get shading, you can get blue and get black. This particular paper causes a little bit more of a reaction to it, which is neat considering it is coated. The medium has no feather, spread, halo sheen, or shade. 26 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it, we didn't get it in the smear test. You could likely recover if you smeared while you were writing. And we're not seeing anything different there, so I'm just going to skip it. The Hazel notebooks, no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, spread, halo sheen, and we get the blue and black all together again. The permanent, the word permanent, blue, black, blue, black, blue, black, blue, black, all the way through, constantly shifting from blue to black, where it's seeped in a little more, reacts with the paper, and it gets to oxidize. The extra fine is a noticeably lighter tone. It is all blue with a couple black spots. It is no feather spread, halo sheen, just a couple shade spots like the K in Quick, the X in Fox, the PS in Jumps. 7 seconds to dry. Now the medium on the other hand has no feather spread, halo sheen, no shading. This spot here on over, I think I've touched the page because I see it like there, like that. And that's the only spot I'm really seeing any of the, quote, shading, the blue and the black. Otherwise, it is black. 13 seconds to dry. So what's neat is we got the blue with the extra fine, black with the medium. 13 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation, and we didn't really get it. We got a little bit in spots, sort of, with the extra fine, like the K, but not otherwise. The smear test you could likely recover if you smeared while you were writing. So this is P. Berger. It's a student grade paper. But look at that. No bleeding. No ghosting. This paper has hated most fountain pen inks, and here it's doing great. With the 1.1, we have no feather spread, halo sheen, and we get a lot of the blue to black shifting back and forth. Like in the word black, it starts with black, goes to blue, goes to black, goes to blue, goes to black again. Beautiful stuff. The extra fine is the exact same thing. No feather spread, halo sheen, and a lot of that blue black back and forth. Like in the word quick, it starts with the black, becomes blue for a while, becomes black on the K. And it does it in a lot of words. 6 seconds to dry. Now medium becomes black. It has no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade. It took 9 seconds to dry. The scrubby showed us no color variation. We didn't expect it. We didn't get it. And the smear test, you'd probably be able to recover it if you smeared while you were writing. That is all that I have for the writing sample. Instead of finding inks that look like Krishna's permanent blue black, I would prefer to find an ink that complements its color on the page. I was thinking of a nice red-orange color, which was good because I chose the Atramentis Red-Orange. Well named, the Atramentis. Before I give my opinion on this ink, I would ask, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, I would invite you to subscribe. So what do I think of Krishna's permanent blue black? This is a true blue black. It is gorgeous to work with. It goes down blue with some nice black in the shading. It does darken over time, but it maintains having that blue because the sample that I put up with the smear, that was taken about 6 months after the smear was actually done. And the smear is easy to see as blue with black. I love this ink. I wish it came in larger bottles. I don't care that it's Iron Gall. I don't care that it takes a little bit more to work out of your pen. That's fine. This ink is gorgeous. It's one of my favorite blue blacks, except for its cost and time to get it. Thanks for watching.